Okay, so we are live now for the free training on accessibility, and hopefully some people will join in soon. So what I want to talk about first is how to present videos and video, live, Periscope, Blab, Hangouts, and all that stuff. So the first thing I really want to talk about was the lighting, because as you can see that as I'm doing the live now, you can see the lighting pretty good. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the ample amount of lighting for your viewer and to see you and your product. And if they can't see you clearly, they may actually not want to view your video. But you should be conscious of where your lighting is to your position. So like you want the light facing you, not toward the side or behind or directly above, because it'll be more of a shadow glow. So it'll prevent you from having your facial expression being bad as well. Usually what I like to do is have a bathroom light directly in front of me. So like if it's right above a vanity, it works out very well. The reason I really focus on this part is because people want to be able to see your product, they want to see your body language, your facial expressions, and the situational cues to pull in all the different information of what's going on. It's exactly like what deaf people do in everyday situations. The other thing I really stress about on top of the lighting is having a generally plain background. A background that's not busy or chaotic. And if there's a bunch of stuff going on in the background, it gets very distracting for the viewer. So as you can see, my background pretty much plain or static, because we have the calendar that's static and the chair static. But that's not a problem. But if you have like a TV going on in the background, they're going to tend to focus on TV more so than you. I mean, furniture is fine as well, but if you also have kids running around, just say that ahead of time in the video so they're aware of it and they're not exactly focusing. Yeah, you do very well with yours, Rebecca. I mean, it's not like it's crazy or anything. It's like you have a focus on your face and you make it work with just your upper body half, and you don't have any of that craziness going on. Let's see. I generally try and keep the videos close, like chest height distance, like this. And I think Tanya does a full body view, which is fine just as well, because you can actually read the lips and you can see the body what's going on as well. Then if you can actually adjust your camera range to zoom in and zoom out and have it do a focus on you. And the reason I focus on this part is because, most deaf people can lip read. Not all of them can. But if they're not close enough to the camera, they can't lip read you. So they won't be able to understand what's going on if they do need to rely on lip reading. And going forward from that, you want to talk about your camera quality and movement. So even when you do zoom in or you zoom out and you're still in your static body position, you need to make sure your camera is stationary. Or if you're using your hand, try not to move your hand as much. What I like to do is I'll take like my phone and I'll just put it on like an actual object and lean it on it so it works. And I know Kenny was talking about this last week, the little clip thing that you attach your phone to and then you clip it on something and it stays stationary. The reason I focus on this part as well is because people sometimes get motion sick because of the movement of the camera, and then it gets very distracting for them. When you do use your camera, you want to make sure that your video quality is very good. You want to make sure that your videos are not pixelated. You want people to see your product. You want people to see you. And Doris was talking about this last week, that You want to actually be able to read the product and actually see the actual quality of the product as well. So if you have a pixelated video, you can actually defeat the purpose of doing the video. So you want people to be able to understand you and see your video. And this is one thing we talk about at work a lot is the sound quality and background noise. As someone who is deaf, I actually need to have like not much of a background noise at all. Otherwise, I can't hear what's going on in front of me. So what we actually do is we try to have the background noise minimized. So if you have like a fan that's blowing that's way too loud and it's really close to the, the camera and the microphone, or if you have your kids screaming or the dogs barking, like all that can factor into your sound quality and being able to understand the video. But if you can't help with the noise, just give a heads up, just make sure that, you say, oh, hey, my dogs are running around in the background. You might hear them, that kind of thing. So people are consciously aware of it, but they're not like completely focusing on it either. The other thing I really want to talk about is the body movement, because this is what I see in a lot of people's videos is that, they're showing the body, so like, hey, at the body, and then they move their head to the side, and then you can't hear them talking because they're not really talking to you. Like this conversation, they're talking off to the side, and they're talking to the product. And that's very distracting for the viewer because they can't read your lips as well either. Or if like the product's in your face, they obviously can't read your lips to see your facial expression very well. But if you're gonna put a face mask on, at least try and make sure that your hand's not like, oh my god, like all that kind of stuff. This is what's really the most critical point, because as someone who can't hear, I rely on the reading a lot and I rely on facial expressions a lot. And it's really difficult for me, and I always get turned off by videos if I can't actually understand them by reading the list, because that's my number one use. I lip read, and then I hear, and then I focus on body language and situational cues. Make sure you're not constantly moving. Like, yes, I'm moving, but we're human, we're not a robot either. And that because of that, you can still move, but try not to make super jerky movements so that people are like struggling trying to like whip their head and zoom and understand you. Another thing is definitely do not eat or drink while you're talking, because they'll pick up on maybe the background noise of you chewing or you slurping your drink. Especially if you're going to, I'm sorry to pick on you, Rebecca, but chewing gum, that was one of my topics. Don't chew gum while you're talking in your videos for the product. I'm sorry I have to pick on you for that. Another thing is what I like to do is when I do my videos, I like to make sure that I'm not wearing something that's super busy. Like this striped shirt's fine, sour shirt's good, but if you have something that's like a really super bold print that can be distracting to the viewer, and they'll be focusing on the print instead of you and the product while you're talking. Signs do help. So if you do have like a little sign, like so you say a sign like, oh hey, this is Cackle Spackle, it's a face mask. And then you can do like a little sign, but like do it like, say for example, like right here, and not like right in your face while you're talking. I do want to talk about, while doing some research with different social media and accessibility. So if you have a Twitter, you can go to the settings and hit the display and sound, which drops down to accessibility. And you can do a composed image description, which this is very good for those that are visually impaired, because that way you can actually talk about the image and then have it described in detail, and then they can actually imagine it for themselves. Another option is, because Twitter only allows so many character limits, it's an app called Easy Trip, EASYCHRIP. It allows you to tweet the image with the caption and a long description from the desktop and mobile devices. With Facebook, you can add captions to your videos, but what you do is you edit them after posting, and you add in .srt file, which is the caption text file, which allows you to describe your post to also provide alt text images, but it also kind of allows you to basically provide a transcript for your video as well, as you propose to do that. With Instagram, Instagram, we have no character limit, so you can do descriptive text all the way down in your original post on the Instagram. I'll type all the information when I post the chat in the team page. I have it written down, so I'll have that for you as well. YouTube, they just recently did this in order to make sure when you post, make sure all the videos have the closed caption option on, audio descriptions, and full transcript when possible. I mean, YouTube does provide captions, but they're really, really, really bad. And so what you want to do is you always want to check for like errors and accuracies as well when you do it. But whenever possible, try to provide a full transcript, because you're dealing with not only your customer base, but you're also dealing with just a general wide social media base as well. So I want to talk about, I posted in the team bios, I think it was Tuesday, the Microsoft Accessibility Checklist. This is one of the checklists that we use at work. It doesn't really pertain to live video communication or anything, but as much as if you make a PowerPoint or you do a Microsoft Word, if you're doing like a presentation, this would work like if you do a PowerPoint presentation at a home party or something. It has like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint actually has a little thing up on the screen called Accessibility Checklist, and it'll go on there and tell you what is accessible and what isn't accessible. So I did upload that in the team files, and that is it's a double-sided thing. So there's one for Word and there's one for PowerPoint. I think it's like a checklist of 1 through 10. And then on the bottom it shows you the website of the school if you want more information on how to. It is, Rebecca. We actually give this to our faculty and staff all the time. Like every single faculty and every single staff at the beginning of every semester. Most of them don't use it. The other file that I did upload was disability etiquette. And this is more for interacting with people in person rather than in video. And it's really good because it touch bases on the stuff that I won't be touch basing, because it's not really my area. They have like the mobility impairment, the visually impaired, ADHD, other mental disorders and all that. And it's actually really good because I actually learned stuff from it myself that I didn't think I would actually need to know it. Coming as a disabled person, I actually found out a lot more about it, and it actually made me more aware of things that we don't give a second thought about doing. So it's like if you're with take for example, I have my counselor is legally blind at work. She's one part of our department, and I would catch myself like grabbing the stuff for her and trying to do it on accident, unintentionally, like what someone would normally do. And she'd be like, I can do it myself. Like it's just perceptions that we're not really aware about. And the disability etiquette file, and I have it in the team file, actually really is more of an eye opener. I actually like it a lot. And you can actually print it off for yourself if you want also. But speaking of visually impaired, obviously there's different eye conditions like glaucoma, degenerative disease, cataracts, and all that. And obviously they're going to see differently, but at the same way that people need, the audio description, the visually impaired people need the visual description. So when you actually do your video, verbally speak descriptively of the product in detail, plus, the packaging, the smell, the texture, the look, what it does, and not even nice to say like, hey, hi, do my clothes, and then if there's words on it, do my clothes and like focus enough, but read off exactly what it says on there, and then maybe talk about the size of the product itself, so they know they go buy the product and they grab the product. They want to be able to know which product they're actually grabbing, because I'm sure, like, you don't want to put a purse stick under your eyelids like a caffeinator, so like even visually describing like the color of the packaging, the color of the product inside the packaging. Like, that's important, especially with our products where we have a lot of dissimilar packaging for each one of them. So you want to make sure that it's generally descriptive when it comes to that. So, cackle spackle. I mean, you can say like, so a face mask, it's gonna be in a tube in North Carolina, but you can say it's in a tube that I can basically fit inside my hand completely, and it's got green packaging with a skull mask and flowers on it, and it opens up like a squeezed tube of mayo or something. But you want to read the ingredients as well, because they're not going to be able to read that ingredient list on the bottom of the packaging. It's too small for them. Same with the catalog. They're probably not going to be able to read it in the catalog either, because unless they have like a giant magnifying glass or a zoom text or a sales scanner, which like actually focus camera over the product and zooms in like maybe 10, 25 times larger, they probably don't have that kind of software at home because it's really expensive. So it's definitely something that most people do not do, but I think would be good for them to do. I mean, it's not necessary unless you actually know you have like a visually impaired customer. But I mean, if you have the time to do it, then do it. I mean, also the customers will be more aware of what's in your product. So that's really for both the blind and the low vision people, because I mean, even then, they'll probably put like a bump dot, like those stuff you put on the microwave keys so they can see where it is, and then they can know which buttons they are. They'll probably like have a specific system of labeling the product themselves, so they know which product they're using. But they're normal people too, but sometimes we just need to go that extra step to actually make them feel included, and so they know what's going on and they feel like they're part of what's going on. I know Doris asked me to bring this up earlier in the week because she's having a home party next month with a deaf person that's new in town. And she wants to know how to make a deaf person feel welcomed. But I really want to touch base on is like, not every deaf person's the same. They're not going to function the same or operate in the same manner. Like for me, I have micro implant, I have lip reading, I have sign language. I can rely on body cues, situational cues, all that stuff. Not every deaf person is going to be able to do lip read, sign, speak, or use assistive technology or interpreting services. And it's not like they're going to readily have an interpreter on the go either, because those are really expensive. And so most of the time they'll really just, like for me, for example, I don't use an interpreter all the time. I just usually like if I'm in a giant group setting at work for team training, and that's the only time I use an interpreter. Is that like $70 an hour over here. So it's just really expensive, and they don't use that. And sometimes they will feel really shy about announcing the fact they can't hear. I'm probably one of the few people that are like, oh hey, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that? Most of them probably just let us just go past the hand because they don't want to be bothered about it. And that's what most deaf people do, because they just don't want to actually make their disability feel more amplified. But to me, it's like I don't care. I'm all about self-advocacy, but not all deaf people are. But when you're doing a home party and you have a deaf person, but I would, in my experience, what I would personally like to have, like, if the hostess wants to know how to make it easier for me is, like, I would like to be, like, pulled aside and see, like, what my needs were to be able to actually function in the home party better. So if I were doing, I should talk to that person and see how we can make them feel more included in the home party better, because like, all of them are different. But what I actually like to do is, having that pinpointed what exactly will help them, will help you present better and make them feel included. But also at the same time is how people are like, oh yeah, we'll cater to the normal people first and then we'll help you. It's a matter of, you have to think in reverse, because if you do that, you'll help the deaf person and you're helping the normal people too at the same time. So you're not doing two steps, you're just doing one step altogether, and it just makes it much easier. But what I have found really helpful in the past is when I go to the regional team meetings, Bonnie Dodge is usually the one that's presenting them. She's awesome. She actually gives me an outline of her presentation, who's speaking, how long the presentation is, what is covering, specific details like that. When she's actually doing the presenting herself, she actually gives me her transcript notes. So you'll see in some of my regional team notes and team files that she has her notes, and then I'll take my notes underneath as well. And I find this really helpful, because then I know what's going on, and then I can actually contribute to what's going on as well. In terms of having like a home party, I would definitely make an outline of your presentation so the person that's attending knows what ballot you're talking about. One, and then as you are doing your presentation, maybe have like a little outline breakdown of each product, like what does it do, what page in the catalog it is, and being able to just present it, and then they can just have it as a reference. So you don't, you're going to talk about what it does, what it smells like. It's already there in that catalog. So a page number is really good to help too. When you're doing your home parties and you have a deaf person in attendance, make sure if they're free, make sure they can read your lips and they can see you. I usually prefer that, for me, when I attend the regional meeting, Bonnie actually holds the seat up in front for me, so I can actually see the presentation going on, and I can actually understand the speaker, and it's close enough range that I can actually repeat them as well. So I'm definitely a home party. Make sure that they have a seat where they can actually see you face to face, like you're doing right now. You're face to face, and they can read your lips. They can see what's going on, because they're off to the side and they can't see your lips. Because honestly, who wants to talk like this? So like, if they can't read your lips, they're just gonna kind of zone out during the whole presentation, and they're not gonna enjoy themselves, and they're gonna just kind of be a little bit turned off from it. when people ask questions, no, it's going to be like around the room. So they're not going to be able to understand that either. So what I would, if it was me, I repeat the question being asked, then answer the question. But I also point out to who said the question. So they have a name to a face and they actually understand it as well. I definitely when you're posting your clips and videos is or like your images and stuff, simple is best, you know. If you have your product for sale and you want to take a picture of it, do it on a plain background, and then you're gonna add text to it. Make sure it's like a simple black or something, because you want to minimize the use of color. The important information should not be emphasized with color alone. So like, you don't want to say like, oh, the green pen's over there and then the red pen's over there. Because people that are colorblind are definitely not going to know which is which. So like, you want to be specific with the information, but you want to make sure that they can actually clearly see the information as well. I think that's really what I have. Do you have any questions? And I know I can definitely do a more like one-on-one or a live communication chat of if anyone has like any specific question, and then we can do like a group discussion as well. And I'm happy to help like teach some sign as well if you want to be able to, if you want to be able to actually communicate with the deaf person, like, and introduce past them so they can be like, oh, hey, my name is yada yada, and this is, like a hand cream, and you want to be able to basically, you don't need to use sign as much as I think you should use the pencil and the paper and to do communication, like in everyday situations, you can communicate with the deaf person. You can't do sign. They're obviously going to have a pen and paper. They're going to make a sign for like pen and paper, and then that was one of their main way of communicating. So I mean, that's something that's an option, but if they do know sign, I know for me it's a really pleasant surprise if someone knows sign and they sign to me. I'm like, oh yay! So that's definitely an option, and I can gladly train people on how to do basic signing, make it easier. I mean, that's an option. So I think that's it, really. So I'm gonna close this broadcast, and I'll definitely post what the social media information about how to make it more accessible, and I will also post how to, if you want to do like one-on-ones and do learn some sign, then we could do that too. I think that'll be good. Yeah.